China Rally, based in the city of Longyu, 400 kilometres from Shanghai, is the 7th and final round of the 2006 Asia Pacific Rally Championship. The addition of a large international field that competes in the China Rally Championship means that an outright winner is difficult to predict. For young Australian Eli Evans, China Rally is his 5th totally new event for the season, and one where he hopes he can reverse a run of retirements.
It's been a massive learning experience doing the Asia Pacific Championship. The learning curve that I've gone through this year has been a lot bigger if I had just done my national series. So I think through the year I'm a lot better driver than I was at the start of the year, there's no doubt about it. We've had a bit of bad luck in the last 2 rounds, so one of them was a little bit of a driver error, but mechanical dramas in Indonesia sort of stopped us from getting a good result. But we're back and the car's ready, so we're going to go out there and just give it another shot.
Finnish driver Jarkko Miettinen won the last round of the Chinese National Championship, but his Asia Pacific campaign hasn't been as successful.
The start was catastrophic, had accidents and small car failure, so when we went to Japan we didn't have any points, and then we had a new car in Japan, so since then it's been better, but not easy, but a lot of new experiences, very, very interesting and a nice year for me. We are heading for try to get the 3rd place. That's realistic if we can make our own result here. So, but the conditions are difficult, and first have to get used to the roads and how the grip is here.
Australian Cody Crocker is here to win the Asia Pacific title, but also wants to make it 6 wins in a row.
It's going to be a tough event, and there's a huge range of talent here, from the Chinese competitors in their own championship and their home event sort of thing, to the nationals doing the internationals doing the Chinese championship, to us APRC guys. So it's a fantastic field, and I expect a lot of different stage times from probably up to 8 or 10 drivers, and that'll make for a fantastic event. And just hope at the end of it we're on the top.
Although Crocker and navigator Ben Atkinson have enough points to win the titles, the rules state that each competitor must start 6 of the 7 rounds to qualify for series points. Therefore, it's a mere formality that sees the pair start Rally China.
Congratulations.
And that's enough for both to become the Asia Pacific Drivers and Co-Drivers Champions. With the title battle won by Crocker, the spots to watch are 2nd and 3rd. The runner-up spot currently held by Mitsubishi driver Katsu Taguchi. Behind him, just 3 points separate Hiroshi Yanagasawa, Rifat Sunkar and Jarkko Miettinen.
We do our maximum because, as you know, in the championship, the 3rd, 4th, 5th position is only 1 point separate, so it will be tough.
The event starts with a super special. Crocker and Taguchi are first up, the only chance the drivers have to race side by side against each other.
Flippy 3 right narrow into 1 right.
As predicted, 70. The conditions are extremely tricky. And it's a close race to the finish.
Right long into finish. Finish. 151, that was all right.
Sunkar and Yanagasawa are away next. Both drivers push hard in the mud, with Sunkar coming out slightly ahead. Then, just as the cars cross the finish line, a baseball-sized rock is flung up by Sunkar, smashing into Yanagasawa's windscreen. Thankfully, with no serious damage. In the rally proper, Crocker quickly establishes himself as the driver to beat, leading the event throughout the first day, winning both stages run in atrocious conditions.
3 right, 250.
Miettinen is 2nd in the APRC, followed by his Mitsubishi teammate Taguchi. Australian driver Eli Evans holds 4th. and Cusco Subaru driver Hiroshi Yanagisawa 5th, having a cautious start. At the end of the first day, Crocker is leading the event outright and is pleased the pressure is off. He and Atkinson are the champions, and now he can get on with winning China Rally.
It's pretty exciting to go over a start ramp and be crowned the champion, so we're absolutely wrapped with that. Congratulated Ben, and after we went over the ramp, nearly drove through the next control, but it's all okay. So yeah, no, really happy with that, and I think probably lifted a bit of a load off, so we had a bit of fun in those two stages.
So what's the single biggest factor you think that contributed to basically 5 wins on the trot and the championship?
Yeah, it's a hard one to pick, I guess, sort of not trying to beat my own drum, but I guess maybe the experience that I'm getting now gives me a bit more consistency. I think a few of the younger guys sort of were very fast at times, but then had some offs and moments and whatever else. So I think, but also we've had such a great car this year. I can't single it down to one thing, but obviously the guys have maintained the car perfectly. We've had no mechanical trouble whatsoever, so we've got to be happy with that. And the only problem I think we had was the airfield got a bit blocked with all the mud and dust in Indonesia, but that's about it. You can't really acquit that, but otherwise, we had a great run.
Yeah, it's been great for Subaru, for Cody, for myself. I mean, I've done the Asia Pacific a couple of times before, but that was in a 2-wheel drive. To be in an outright car is fantastic, and I think it's just all really gelled for the year. The new team and new pairing with Cody and myself, it just all seemed to work.
Do you think that past experience in the Asia Pacific helped for you, this year?
It definitely helps. I mean, like this event I've done before, others I've done before, and it just makes it easy because you know what to expect. A lot of cultural things make the Asia Pacific quite a challenge to deal with traffic and just different languages and things like that, rather than doing a national championship.
Leg 1 continues the following morning in the high mountains south of Longyu, with the weather no better. As we see from Yanagisawa's onboard camera, Taguchi is immediately in trouble, retiring with suspension damage. Crocker continues to push on in the difficult conditions, but being first on the road, he does have the best of the conditions. Meetonen has a puncture on SS5 and then loses more time later with a high-speed spin. Eli Evans damages his suspension on the same stage, but keeps it together to make it back to service for repairs. New Zealand driver Dermot Malley in a Wanyu Rally Team Mitsubishi is using his years of experience to handle the horrible conditions, but retires near the end of the leg with diff problems. Fellow New Zealander Brian Green has several car problems during the day, including a puncture, but does make it to the end of the leg. The mud in the final stages of the day is treacherous, and Evans has a slight off, but does go on to finish the leg in 4th. Meetonen, pushing hard to make up for time lost earlier, also goes off in the mud, but keeps the boot in to regain the road and hold on to his 3rd spot in APRC. As he has all championship long, Yanagisawa stays out of trouble and moves up the leaderboard to end leg 1 in 2nd spot in the APRC and 3rd overall. He also picks up 2 very valuable bonus points in the driver's fight. Cody Crocker drives faultlessly through the day to lead the event and the APRC at the end of the leg.
It started off as pretty bad mush and then it just got worse from there. It was pretty incredible, but I guess when it's this type of condition, your first car on the road generally has the best conditions, and then it gets worse from there, and then obviously 2nd and 3rd pass is just atrocious, and we actually had to cancel out the last 10 Ks of one of the middle stages just because it was so diabolical. It was just really difficult to drive, and you wouldn't be able to get an FIV vehicle in there at all or anything like that if something did go wrong. So really, for safety's sake, it was probably the best decision.
Next day, the weather improves and both leading
200.
APRC drivers throw caution to the wind.
Danger 10 crest jump 200.
Flying high over one of the many jumps on stage 13.
Care slow. Oh, care slow, jump slow, 74 left, easy.
Behind the leading duo, both Meaton and Evans retire on the first stage of leg 2, promoting Indonesia's Rifat Sunkar to third. Brian Green moves his Mitsubishi up to fourth spot. One of the real tests of the China Rally is the mountain stage San Men Wan that the drivers tackle 3 times. With over 40 hairpins and run at high altitude, it's a tough final stage for the 4 remaining APRC drivers. Yanagasawa holds it together to finish second in the APAC and gains enough points to take second position in the drivers' title race.
Thank you very much. Thank you. 味パシにっていうのは本当今日さっき分かったんですけど、自分とすれば思いがけない。I've never dreamed and APRC championship the second place. Everything happened. That's right. I'm very happy to get this APRC the second position.
On his first attempt at the Asia Pacific Rally Championship, Indonesian driver Sunkar finishes third APRC driver in China and flies the flag for Mitsubishi. The young Indonesian has finished 3 times on the podium this year.
Generator's not going.
We never expect that we can have this good result because we are thinking about the target will be the 7 overall in the first year. But we don't know, we got the 3 podiums in 2006, so I think it's such a wonderful result for us.
And Subaru Rally driver Cody Crocker has shown why he is the 2006 Asia Pacific champion, winning his 6th event of the season, typically with hardly a scratch on the car and after 250 kilometres of one of the toughest events on the championship.
Left. Into 6th left, 100, finish. Done it. 18:47.
I reckon this is probably the most difficult event we've done this year. I mean, every event we went to, I think you probably got me on record saying, yeah, this is the most difficult, but the rain just made things diabolical and incredibly slippery. And I haven't really counted, but there's at least 40 to 50 hairpins, in some of these stages, and just on the handbrake all the time. And it's definitely the lowest average speed stage is around 50 kilometres an hour. So first and second gear and up the hill and left, right, left hairpins, one after the other, and it never ends. And the altitude was quite high as well on some stages. You just climb up and up and up.
So a well-satisfied Aussie pair celebrate on top of the podium after a totally dominant season. The final points show that Crocker was in a class of his own, scoring 94 points out of a possible 96. Yanagasawa pipped Taguchi for second and Sunkar takes fourth. In the co-drivers title contest, Ben Atkinson easily heads Mark Stacey.